Well, hello. I am so glad that you were able to come in today and bring in your old record player just so that we can see that everything is perfectly normal and up to date. This is quite the antique, but I noticed that it has a little bit of wear and tear. Has this possibly been an heirloom that's been in your attic, perhaps? Or is it something that has been behind some boxes or something like that? I see. Well, something that was built with such love and care, something of this magnitude, doesn't deserve to be treated in this manner. I think we'll just check the buttons real quickly, make sure that everything works, and just... Okay, track, increment, works, and the auto manual switch. And the erase button. Good. And finalize. And of course, the most important, the record button. Now, if you will permit me an observation, I've noticed that the record level, yes, where you can go up or down, the button there seems to be missing its knob. Yes, you see how the tuning knob is here and the volume knob is here, and they both seem to be working in perfect condition. Yes. Well, I think that the recording level here kind of gives you a little bit of a problem, because a lot of these typically have a oh my goodness, absolutely disgusting. You really should take more proper care and remove the dust particles that are here. Yes, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by your lack of laziness and dust, most of these old record players have a compartment right up here where I don't even want to look at that apparatus at the moment, but most of these have a record player that goes up here, and you could use this record level here to do the mixing when you are trying to burn onto the record itself. But we will move on from there. I will have to craft or order a piece to replace this right here. At least the power level, I hope, is working. The power switch. Alright, then of course here we have our earphone jack, and it needs just a little bit of cleaning, so if you don't mind, I'll just... Just a little bit of care there. Just a little bit of friendly antique care. One mustn't be too careful when working with the earphone jack and the aux jack, because especially with items such as this, when the exterior is not really properly maintained with the decorum that it should be from those that inherit things that don't know what they really have, typically the inside portions need to have an even cleaner regimen, I can only imagine the clogging that's going on in these portholes here. And so we're just going to actually take a look, if you don't mind. And I'm just going to just observe here. And yes, as we do that, I'm just going to it's a nasty business, I tell you. The amount of dust that I see coming out of the hole here is a little bit of a problem. You can see with the light that I'm shining here as I'm cleaning this out. It's a very, very dusty exit here, and it has been a little bit remiss in its attention. You should pay more attention to your record player holes. Please pause for effect. Quite dusty little bunghole there. Little dusty bunghole. It's very, very small, but I can see the little bits of dust that need to come out here. And we'll just take a look here and clean all that out so that there's no more problems. Just a small portion. Just the small point going in. Good. Alright, let us make sure that the rest of this area here is actually intact. Surprisingly it is. I need to ask you, what are your intentions with this antique object once it is cleaned and properly maintained? What were you planning on doing with it? You're going to... I'm sorry, you're going to what? You're going to put it on top of the fireplace as a centerpiece. That's most inadequate. Something that was so magnificently crafted and built should actually be put to use, perhaps in a cave of some sort, or some sort of rec room. I think that you don't understand the gravity of an heirloom such as this. A family heirloom such as this shouldn't be put on display like some sort of useless instrument. The idea of it being on your fireplace mantle isn't a bad idea if you're actually going to utilize it, because I'm wondering, what is the point of me testing all of these buttons and the apparatus here if you're not properly going to use it? I'm just going to clean out the speakers because there's a little bit of disregard there as well. You need to give this some serious thought before we end this session here, but purchase it from you in the effect that this heirloom that you received will get the proper attention that it deserves, and that was meant for a fine instrument such as this. I see that you need a little bit of convincing. That's fine. Well, I can give you an appraisal. I just need to take a good look here to get the proper balance. and I would have to say that it is looking very well intact. There's no stress on the threading or anything of that nature, and it looks like there are no puncture marks here from any sort of mishandlement or any disturbance to the decibel patterns of the base. And then as far as the leather, it is a little bit worn. I would say that it is in fair condition given the circumstances of having to clean it, but the buttons all seem to work except for this recording level part here, which I said I would either have to craft or do order for, but that is really inconclusive. When it comes to the ownership, it doesn't really matter. If this is something that you're planning on actually giving to a prestigious owner such as myself, the amp gauge seems to be working properly here, and like I said, I'm not even going to look up here yet, just because, yes, I can only imagine. Yes. Alright, so I would say that perhaps, well, what would you part with this for? Just curiosity. Oh no, I would say that it would be appraised at about 2/3 that amount that you're coming up with. I understand that you're trying to get a little bit of money back for something like this, but given the fact that you didn't know that it even existed, judging by the dust and the horrible disfigurement of it being either in an attic or behind boxes, I don't think that you're really missing much. So I will give you 50% of what you are actually looking for. I understand that I said it was appraised at 2/3 the value that you wanted. The reason that I am giving you 50% is, I don't know if you've heard, but there are tariffs in place, and we must make proper assurances for the tariffs, because we do not want the tariff to hit the consumer, and as I would be the one purchasing this fine antique specimen, I would be the consumer and you would be the seller, so therefore you must eat the tariffs, or you can be the one to make the change and make the tariffs go away. That's completely up to you. That's not really in my wheelhouse. It's really none of my business. I'm not a politician. I just follow the laws as they are made. So, would you possibly be willing to let this go for 50% of the appraised value? You wouldn't. Alright, that's fine. Well, I will tell you that, yes. Alright, that's fine if you want to take it away. You want to know how much the repair and cleaning cost is? Alright, I'll just do some calculations. So I did the cleaning there, with a little bit of the polish and the leather. And then we did the hardwood cleanings, of course, just a little bit of that, and then we're going to have to check the top there. Oh, and then of course we're going to have to order the new knob, but I actually can construct that. Since you're in a rush, I'll go ahead and construct this here because it would be on back order, and of course tariffs, if we shipped that in, it would be a lot more expensive, so and then you add that, and then you add there's the logo tax, and then I'm selling a service to you, so that would be the sales tax, and then the the county is going to want their share, of course, the county tax. And then, of course, the tariffs. And that is 2%. Carry the 2 zeros over them. 1 and okay. Well, I think that you're not going to be happy with this arrangement, but of course, it is the price of doing business. If you just want to have a little look there, this is how much it's going to cost to repair this wonderful antique. Oh, take your time. I've itemized it for you, so go ahead and look over it. I understand. It is a little bit out of place. But again, I don't make the laws. I abide by them, and that is what it's going to cost you to get this repaired. I'm sorry, what? It's the same price as what I offered you to buy this antique. Oh, well, how ingenious of you. No, that was my bad. You're actually not as dumb as you look. So, yeah, just, forget that I gave you that figure. It's actually about 2% more because I forgot to factor in the cleaning service fee. Oh, you don't like the 2%? Well, perhaps we will take away with the 2% and we'll go with the original figure that I gave you, and I'll just take this antique off your hands for you. Well, that's wonderful. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and oh yes, of course, I'll sleep perfectly well. My conscience is clear, and I hope that you can sleep well tonight, knowing that a family heirloom of this caliber is going